beginners, welcome back to another video, and today it is something different. We're going to be talking about Mohamed Kudus because a story came out that Arsenal were actually so close to signing him last summer. But before I begin, if you haven't liked the video, make sure you do that right now. Subscribe if you're new and turn on those notifications so you don't miss videos like this. So without further ado, let's begin. So Team News and Ticks and Charles Watts, who are very reliable journalists, came out to say that Arsenal were talking to Ajax about Kudus, but we just didn't have enough wiggle room with PSR. And the reason it took him so long to go anywhere, it was because Ajax were willing to hold on to see if they could make a deal happen because of the relationship we have with them. And I can't lie, that is absolutely heartbreaking. Could you have imagined if we managed to get Kudus over the line? We've already seen what a fantastic season he's had with West Ham. He would have been a perfect option to either be, competition for Bukayo Saka, play on the left, play in the 8, or play up front. He would have just fixed so many of our issues. So the fact this story comes out just goes to show that PSR 1 is very, very harsh. You can't just make deals like you could back in the day. You've got to be very, very careful. But also that we are looking for a Saka backup. I always ask the question if we would ever go and actually sign somebody to be Saka's backup or competition. But it has shown with this Kudus news that we are actively looking for one. A part of me questions why we couldn't have just done a loan with an obligation to buy. But we did that with Raya, so maybe we just prioritised the goalkeeper position for that summer. And it also begs the question, will we go back in for Kudus? Because the same journalist, Team News and Ticks, came out to say that Kudus may be a bit unsettled at West Ham. One of his best friends from Ghana is set to leave the club. And there are clubs sniffing around for him, and West Ham know that they might need to sell somebody. They were already looking at Guilherme from Brazil. I don't know if I said that correct. And he plays in the position Kudus currently plays. So maybe he could be on his way out. The same journalist was also like Manchester United want him. So there would be a lot of competition for Kudus. But for me, it's a no-brainer. For 60 million, whatever it is, pay that money for Kudus. He would fix so many issues. The 8 could play as a false 9. Could play on the left, could play on the right. He's just such a brilliant player, and I just hope that we can possibly go back in for him, but also that this summer we will get a Saka backup, because if I now recall, there was a window we went for Gerard Bowen. Apparently we also were in for Moussa Diaby before he went to Aston Villa, and now Mohamed Kudus as well last summer. So these are all quality wingers that would have been perfect behind Saka, but unfortunately we just couldn't get that deal done. So maybe that's going to be a priority this summer. Bakayoko, there's been news that have come out today as well that Arsenal are interested in him and have been speaking to his camp. So maybe this summer we will see a Saka backup. Another one is Hato, where Team News and Ticks with Charles Watts was like, Arsenal have a brilliant relationship with Ajax and it is doing them wonders. Already talked about Kudus. Ajax were willing to wait just because of our great relationship to see if a deal could happen. And if you notice with Hato, we could have actually got him on a free, but we wanted to be respectful to Ajax and ensure that they got a fee from us. So we're looking to do things in the right way, whether that's good from a business point of view, I don't know. But maybe in the long run, having this good relationship with Ajax can get us players in the future. And I do suspect we will go in for Hato because we are big fans of him. He's really young. He's already been a captain for Ajax. He fixes that left centre-back and left-back role. And Kivior would probably go on the way out, or we'd probably sell him and bring Hato in. He's still 17. So there's a lot of upsides to potentially going in for Hato. So that was just another piece of news that came out. What do you think, though, about the two things I've said? Mohamed Kudus, would you bring him in? Do you feel like we still need him, or would he be a bit too expensive? Hato, he can cover left back and left centre back. How much of a need is that? We've got Zinchenko, Tomiyasu, Timber, Kivior. If he stays, that's a lot of players to occupy that left centre back and left back role. So maybe we don't really need to go in for Hato this summer. Maybe something for the summer after. Something else I want to talk about is the news that Victor OSHIMEN and Chelsea is probably not going to happen. Fabrizio Romano said that, and apparently Arsenal are sniffing around for OSHIMEN. So part of me probably thinks that Sekso is a smokescreen for OSHIMEN. I know that sounds ridiculous. OSHIMEN would be really expensive, but it is looking like we can really go in for a striker this summer, and that's what we want. And if we want someone to take us to that next level, then OSHIMEN would be that sort of guy. He's a lot more refined than Sekso. He's had a lot of years in his career. He's in his prime now, so maybe, you know, we might see us go in for OSHIMEN. And I know that Napoli know they won't get the release clause because a lot of clubs are sniffing around and they don't want to pay that. But for me, OSHIMEN would be a ridiculous signing. Could you imagine? On the left, Martinelli or Trossard. On the right, Saka. Up front, you know, we've got OSHIMEN. Then you've also got Havertz as a potential backup. It will just make our attack so much stronger. But in general, what I'm gathering is that Arsenal want to be able to sign somebody that can play across the front line. I mentioned with Sekso, one of the problems with him in agreeing personal terms was that he didn't want to play on the wing. Maybe OSHIMEN will want to play on the wing, and we can probably see that happening. But Arteta really wants versatility on that front line. Just to round up this video, I'm just going to talk about Mikel Arteta. Contract-wise, we are in talks with him. He's currently on holiday in Spain, apparently. So when he comes back, contract talks will be underway. And I've got a question for you guys. I think it's a bit of a fun one. What would you prefer? Arteta not to sign a new contract, but we can sign 3 of our top targets, or Arteta to sign the contract, but we can't sign any players for the next 5 seasons? For me, I would pick the one where we can't sign a player for the next 5 seasons, and that's just a testament to how good a job Mikel Arteta has done. Because if you remember back in those lockdown seasons, back when we were struggling, if you had asked anyone this same question, they would have said let go of Arteta immediately. But just because of the way he's adapted, the way he's made us a lot stronger, and we're now competing for things. And I think it would be an absolute travesty if Mikel Arteta was to leave and go to maybe Manchester City, who seem to be letting go of Guardiola at the end of this season finally. So for me, getting his contract done would probably be the best news of this window. So hopefully that can get wrapped up as quick as possible. And yeah, we can build a proper legacy with Arteta. We've already seen Wenger be at the club for so long. My wish would be for Arteta to be here for that length of time as well. Because I'm sorry, if you can't see that success is inevitable, then I'm not sure if you know football. Because Mikel Arteta is showing that he has the minerals to take this club to glory. Champions League, Premier League, anything, you name it, Mikel Arteta is going to take us there. Anyway, Gunners, that's just a roundup of today's news regarding Mohamed Kudus, of course, at the start of the video. Let me know, were you shocked to hear this, that Kudus was actually waiting for us as well? He was interested in signing for us. And also, is Benjamin Sekso a smokescreen for Victor OSHIMEN, for all we know? And of course, about Mikel Arteta signing a new contract, which would be fabulous news. Anyway, Gunners, until next time, peace.